What's going on, folks? Charlie here. Sorry I haven't posted a video like forever and a day. I'm actually slightly outside, slightly inside, having a drink of my choice and a cigarette. But unfortunately for Charlie, somebody's got to pay the freedom bill, and that's me. So yeah, I was doing some stuff. This is actually, I'm probably only gonna be able to do one or two videos before I actually go back out again. It's the worst, but in a couple months, in the fall time, I'll be doing this a little bit better. So to my 15 subscribers, thank you for holding on. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, I am able to watch one or two YouTube videos, and DNC's been going off. The Van Skyver, the Ethan Van Skyver is going off. Yellow Flash has got a new intro. If you haven't checked out Yellow Flash, you can check him out. He's really good. All the usual suspects and freaking. Actually, it seems like now more people are actually getting into this than ever before, because I think the industry has realized something. So I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to talk about Crapola Marvel and soon to be shooting themselves in the foot DC. So that's Detective Comics for the actual comic book like D and C. Sorry about that. So anywho's, DNC, Yellow Flash, and some other that Umbrella guy, just some guy. They've all called it. It's like fresh start isn't a fresh start. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I've been saying this since the beginning. They lied to us. Marvel is hell-bent on destroying their crown jewels. I mean, I don't. It's not even worth repeating all the mistakes that they keep on making. Destroying continuity of characters. Quicksilver's not Magneto's son anymore. That doesn't even make sense. Like, why? That's just stupid. That was a great piece to. Is it Pietro? Yeah, but Pietro, how he handled who he was and that conflict that he had with his father. They brought Jean Grey back. Hey, big whip. Nobody likes Jean Grey. Nobody has ever liked Jean Grey. When they killed her off, 8 years ago, everybody was like, thank God Jean Grey's dead. Let's bring in Emma Frost. And then, they cucked Emma Frost. Now she's all like crybaby and stuff like that, running to Iceman. And they keep trying to pump up Iceman like we're going to like the character. He was cool in the 90s. I mean, I'm not even lying. I got some comic books, X Factor, where Iceman just went to town on these robotic ninjas. They were trying to get his girl, and he was like, you know what, screw you, I'm gonna mess you all up. And it was awesome. It was good to go. But now they did their thing with Iceman, which makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, whatever. I mean, the biggest tomcat in the world, and all of a sudden, yeah, we've been down that road before. Ta-Nehisi Coates. Is that the writer of Captain America? Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know, because I haven't purchased the book. Because I don't care. I go to my local comic book store almost every Wednesday when I can, which means I haven't been to them in a long time, but actually recently just got to go back to one. And it was pitiful. All these comics that before I left were still there. Nobody's buying these things. These Comitron numbers are fake. Yeah, the stores are buying them, but they're not selling them. Right? And a big case in point, everybody's touting off about Batman 50. The big joke, the killing joke that was played on all of us. We thought Batman was going to get hitched to Catwoman. Personally, I'm glad that he didn't, because I don't like Catwoman. She's one-dimensional. She's also snotty, too. I liked it in the Justice League cartoon when they had Batman and one woman. That was hot, because bagging an Amazonian chick is super awesome. Anywho's, back to that. So the numbers were I think they sold 500,000 or something like that. Actually, I'm going to bring it down because I can't confirm 500,000 because I'm not looking at a computer right now. But let's say, 300,000. And I think I'm cutting myself short in this. I'm almost 95% sure it was close to 5. Anywho, when I went back to the comic book store and 50 happened, while I was gone, 50 happened. So that comic came out and it's still there. Nobody's buying it. And it was a big stack of 50. And I know they got more in the back. I mean, what was DC thinking? I mean, Marvel obviously wanted to screw everybody over because they did that whole thing where Kitty Pryde asks Colossus to marry her, and then she leaves him at the altar. And then they try and play it off like we're all just going to forget that. Like somehow it was Peter's fault or something like that. Like she's a horrible individual. There are points that characters get broken. Alright, so even though not a vast majority of Americans, I would say, even Europeans and Australians too, probably Africans and Asians. Well, Japan's got their own stuff, so I'm not going to count them much as on American comic books. But anyways, characters have mythos to them. They're governed by stuff. So when they broke Captain America, Marvel got really worried, and they should be, because they made him a Nazi, and he wasn't a Nazi, and the whole storyline sucked, but it got out there, and the book has struggled ever since because people remember this stuff. Now we're going to talk about Kitty Pryde. This has obviously just turned into a ramble. I've had a lot of time, a lot of stuff built up over my departure for whatever I was doing, which I can't tell you about. Anywho's, so they broke Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde was the girl next door. She grew up into a woman that was respected by everybody, and they're like, "Look at this! This person is absolutely awesome." And she became leader of the X-Men, and personally, I thought she got a real chip on her shoulder when she became leader of the X-Men, and I was starting not to like her because of it, because she wasn't leading. She was just dictating and judging people, and nobody likes to judge. Anyway, but when she left Colossus, they broke the character. I mean, they literally broke the character. And they broke Selina Kyle, too, on Batman. They broke both those characters. Now, Selina was sort of tricked into it, so maybe they'll be able to recover Catwoman, but they really hurt Kitty Pryde as a character because people are going to remember this. 1 second, I got to get dragged. They're not going to... My cigarette went out, sorry. People aren't going to forget this. They really messed up. And the X-Men books are at like 30,000, 36,000 sales. Now, that's about $1 million when you add it up for the price tag. And they have several books, so it's like what, 7-8 million. But they're printing all that type of stuff. So, and they're paying people, and they have large overheads, and they have buildings and stuff like that. So I don't know what their margins are, because they ain't freaking cutting it. I guarantee you they're hurting a little bit. Maybe they're, I don't know the comic book industry. Anyways, so DC and Marvel, in this horrible rant of my first video back after a while, they're destroying themselves. And they're putting people out of business. Now, the people that are putting out of business are comic book shop people. And I've been in a couple comic book shop people, and to tell you the truth, it's not like the comic book shop people back in the day. They're not friendly. They're not nice. They're not... I remember my local comic book store. And I've talked about this comic book before. It was X-Men like 173, I believe, when Storm was the first time when she went appeared as the Mohawk, with the Mohawk haircut. I went up to the comic book guy. I was like, "Hey, listen, like, do you know what comic this is in? She's got this hairdo now, but in the X-Men Classic I'm reading, she doesn't, like, you know." And he helped me find it. And he was fluent in the X-Men, and he was fluent in the Avengers, he was fluent in the Teen Titans, and he was fluent in the Justice League of America, which they were originally called, by the way. It wasn't just the Justice League. It was Justice League of America, and they had Justice League Europe. I don't know why they don't bring those back. It was good. JLA. It was cool. Anywho's. So the comic book stores are going out of business. I would like to care, but I don't. DNC's talked about it, and some other people have freaking talked about it. They're not filled with like the pop figures and, you know, all this memorabilia, the back issues. I have to order now if I want to find some back issues. Luckily, my comic book store's got a deep reservoir of back issues, so I could pretty much ask for anything. They could find it. It's their own fault. They're not demanding high quality from Marvel. It's as simple as that. If a comic book store would be like, listen, I don't like this product. I'm not buying this product. Marvel would take notice, be like, oh, you know what? In New York, this store didn't want to buy our product. Why? Like, did Diamond would ask them, like, why didn't you buy this product? Like, it's stupid. I can't move this. Like, I sell 12 copies, and that's what it's turned into. It's a bunch of weirdos, man. I mean, I was in the mall. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into. I'm not even going to go into our societal breakdown. But comics are a reflection of it, because those are the people that are working their way into the comic books through nepotism, and they're pushing out crap. Now, here's the silver lining. We found a way to beat them, putting out a better product. What was it, like $500,000? I think, no, it was $1 million. Like, they made $1 million in a couple months. And these are like small time guys, but this was their first outing, and everybody's taking notice. And like DNC, one of his ladies like, I got this artist, I got this writer, I got this artist, I got this writer, and it's all coming together. So Mark Waid and Slott and Coates and all of them, keep on doing what you're doing. We're not buying your product, so it's actually no skin off our backs. Actually, let me correct you, we are buying your product and then making videos about them and making more money than you actually are on your product. Well, everybody else says I only have 15 subscribers, but hey, I appreciate my 15 subscribers. Trust me, I do. I try and answer all comments. Well, actually, I haven't answered any comments in a long time, but you know, freedom ain't free. Don't judge me. So DNC's comics are doing good. Van Sciver's comic is doing good, and he's going to do another one. But I really think they need to work hard. You know, and I think they know that they need to work hard, and I think they're going to be pushing out a quality product. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Just because you're on top right now does not mean you're going to be on top tomorrow. There was a point when everybody had a Windows machine. Everyone did. Now people just use Windows because they have to. Or I don't even know why DNC has a Surface. It annoys me. You should have a Mac. But even those guys can fall off the top. It happens all the time. Westinghouse once, and I said it in some other videos, Westinghouse was the energy company. I don't know. This was just a long rant. Like I said, I haven't been able to make a video in a long time. I'll start summonerize them now. Marvel and DC, just keep on doing what you're doing. You know, do a little short Ant-Man and the Wasps that nobody cares about, nobody's buying. Maybe some mom will buy them for her kid, like a Christmas present or something like that, or birthday present, but he's not going to become a collector. It's not going to hook him. The stories that hooked me were intense. You know, they were like, I remember it was a classic X-Men and Thunderbird. I think it was Thunderbird. He was part of the all-new Giant Size team. I think it was him. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but when he died, man, everybody was like, "Whoa, this new team just started and they killed him." I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. It is what it is, man. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. And, you know, Yellow Flash, Umbrella Guy, Just Some Guy, all of us, we care. We care about comics, and we're gonna make our own. Now, the challenge for me is I'm getting on the back end of this, so I'm not buddies with Diversity in Comics. I've had like a couple messages back and forth with Yellow Flash. I think he thinks I'm an idiot. I really want to reach out to Just Some Guy. I love his videos. I mean, when somebody crosses him, like I remember some lady in the industry said some stuff that just like icked him, and he went on like an 8 to 10 minute rant. And when I was done listening to that, I thought to myself, like, man, if this lady has kids, they want to be adopted by somebody else, because he just shredded her. And I was like, God damn it. Hold on a second. I love my drink of choice. So Anyways, like I said, I've been gone for a long time. I'm gonna try and get to my local comic book store, pick up a comic before I head off back again. Man, I love comics. You know what? This popped into my head a couple days ago, and I wanted to say it. Uh, when I was growing up, life was hard for me. I'm not gonna get into details, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, it was easy actually. It was like first world problems and stuff like that. But it was still hard. I was a kid and I was going through stuff. And comic books helped me find a world for myself. And my imagination grew, and stories and all that type of good stuff. But it did something else. It taught me about bravery. Now, I'll be the first to admit it right here. I've never been tested. I've been around combat. I've volunteered to be deployed, and when I was deployed, I was in the peripherals of it. Got mortared and stuff like that. But I don't consider that stuff dangerous, especially since all my friends were 0311s or 11 Bravos. 11 Bravos and 0311s are the basic MOS, military occupational specialties for infantry. And then you have like a whole bunch of subset classification numbers. Like D&C wasn't, when he was in the Marine Corps, he wasn't an 0311. He was like a 24 something, whatever, which is like a machine gunner. And then 11 Bravo is like the basic Army infantryman. And then you have, just a whole bunch of little like subcategories of different numbers and stuff like that. But comic books taught me about heroism. It taught me about to look for that in people. And kids aren't getting that. They're getting snotty people. Like in my military and in my civilian career, my bosses are younger than me. And I give them respect. Like in my civilian job, I say ma'am and sir. And they're like, my name's Bob or Becky. I'm like, yes ma'am, yes sir. I give them that respect. In the military, well, they get respect for rank, but like a lot of people, they like to push the gun and like call people just by the last name and leave the rank out, or they'll call them by the first name. And I have opportunity too. Like my boss calls me by my first name, Charlie. But I still give him the respect of his rank. It's a sign of respect, and it's something I learned in comic books. And kids aren't getting that. Yeah, I don't know. This was literally a rant. The title of this is gonna be a rant about everything and everyone. Thanks for listening, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, when I come back, I'll be able to grow this channel a little bit more, and I really want to be friends with Ethan Van Sciver, DNC, and Just Some Guy, Yellow Flash, and all those guys that are doing this wonderful stuff. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I want to make a comic book for everybody. I got a story in my head, and I'm gonna work at it, and I want it to be all right. And I'm gonna close with this, and you can tell it in somebody's voice. All right, when they're talking about like a story like that, they want to take your breath away with their comic book. All right, and a good artist is like, dude, I want to hit somebody in the chest with this art so hard, like, what is this awesomeness right here? And a writer's be like, I want to do a fade right and then juke left and just boom, get them. And they don't want to phone it in, and that's that drive and that thing that I got. I kind of believe I got it, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I'll be able to pull it together. So, thanks for listening. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the button to subscribe. Subscribe, and I'll try and put out one or two more of these before I check out again for a couple months. See you guys later.